So, hello, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And today we're going to go ahead with Beyond Order by Jordan Peterson, a book that apparently is about relationships, is about general life advice, and so on and so forth. It's amazing. I enjoy it. I like it. I find it cool, but yeah, let's see where we have stopped, and we can make it major. Na, 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 na. There we fucking go. I guess we have stopped with to decide. Yeah, to decide voluntarily and freely is difficult and demanding. We literally make the world what it is from the many things we perceive it could be. Doing so is perhaps the primary fact of our being. If old memories still upset you, write them down carefully and completely. This is one of the things that I do really enjoy so much about Jordan Peterson. His thoughts on writing things down and the importance of writing things down is definitely also something that I believe in. I have seen as well, and I did not make it a practice yet to write every day. Once again, I've had this practice of writing an article every single day, but I've lost this habit, unfortunately. Whether I've seen some improvements in my overall well-being or in some other aspect of life, I can't really say. I do not really know. But the thing is, I think it is indeed the case that when you write something down, you have to clearly know what you're talking about, what you're saying, what you're willing to say, and this is the beauty about it. If something is bothering you and you write it down, you clearly know what is bothering you, and so you can do something about it. On the other hand, our head is way more complicated or complex than us talking. So when we talk something, this is, by the way, also one of the reasons why I suggest talking to other people as well as writing down, because it's kind of the exact same thing. When you're writing it down or when you're talking, you sometimes see, okay, whatever I thought is actually not that bad, not that good, not that whatever. We just get out of this extreme thinking by writing something down, because it becomes very clear to us what it is all about. And this is the reason why I do enjoy writing things down. Artists teach people to see. Make yourself colorful, stand out, and the lions will take you down. And the lions are always there. If you stick your neck out, then the sword will come. Many, many, many cultures have a saying like that. Pop here, nail. Artistic, creative endeavor is high risk, while the probability of return is low. But the probability of exceptionally high return does exist. Yes, it is quite the case. When you're thinking about Beeple, maybe even the most famous NFT artist at this time or at this point, he made fucking $66 million with one fucking piece of art. This is insane. Of course, there was a long process up until then, and so on and so forth. So it's not an overnight success by any means. But this is, I think, a prime example and a very good example of this. Quite. Can I make it actually a bit smaller? And do it like this. Fine. Artists strive to bring something new into clear focus. Otherwise, they are more propagandists reversing the artistic process, attempting to transform something they can already articulate into image and art for the purpose of rhetorical and ideological victory. This is a great sin, harnessing the higher for the purpose of the lower. Artists do not understand full well what they are doing. They cannot if they are doing something genuinely new. Otherwise, they could just say what they mean. Artists must be contending with something they do not understand, or they are not artists. But what means understanding? What is understanding something? Just thought about me making posters. Do I always understand why I'm doing certain things? No, I really don't. Do I understand the craftsmanship of rather good design? I'm not saying good design, rather good design. Well, yeah, I do as well. But do I fully know what makes a great design? No, not really. It's always a process. And sometimes I come to a conclusion and sometimes I don't. So I don't really know. Could be the case that I'm an artist as well, or that doing design, graphic design, poster design is art. Unless you're copying something, of course. But anyway. Art bears the same relationship to society that the dream bears to mental health or mental life. And there's a really long one. Consider the role that creative people play in cities. In their poverty, they explore the city and they discover some ratty, quasi-criminal area that has seen better days. They visit, look and poke about, and they think, with a little work this area could be cool. Then they move in, piece together some galleries and put up some art. They do not make any money, but they civilize the space a bit. In doing so, they elevate and transform what is too dangerous into something cutting edge. Then a coffee shop pops up and maybe an unconventional clothing store. The next thing you know, the gentrifiers move in. They are creative types too, but more conservative, less desperate, perhaps more risk averse, at least so they are not the first ones on the edge of the frontier. Then the developers show up. And then the chain stores appear and the middle or upper class establishes itself. Then the artists have to move because they can no longer afford the rent. That is a loss for the avant-garde, but it is also okay, even though it is harsh, because with all the stability and predictability, the artist should not be there anymore. They need to rejuvenate some other area. They need another vista to conquer. Sounds actually like a really, 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 really sad story, but was a really true story, to be honest. At least in my mind. I don't know such a story, like, personally. But it would make sense. And it also makes sense in terms of, companies taking advantage of that, this artsy life, and so on and so forth. Speaking of Prada, by the way. Anyway. Museums. Why cannot every small town have a shrine devoted to one great piece of art, instead of having every piece collected in a manner impossible for anyone ever to take in at once? 10 great works of art or 100 in a single room is absurd. Give that each a world in and of itself. I'm sorry, given that each is a world in and of itself. Yeah, it's quite the case. This is, I think, a general problem of art. Like, first of all, what is art? What is good art? What is bad art? And just think of the Mona Lisa. Like, it is presented. Was it the Mona Lisa or something else as well? I guess there was something else as well. Certain pieces of art, they are treated like, well, of course they are worth really, 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 really a lot, but the security endeavors that museums have to make to make sure that it's not getting stolen, that it is safe and whatnot, it is insane. It really is. Like, certain pieces of art are like seemingly treated godlike. The question is, what if the Mona Lisa gets stolen again? And what if it is lost? Is it really that big of a deal? Of course, we cannot have a look at it anymore. There are 10 billion photographs of it. It is a fact that it existed and it exists. It's difficult. It really is. Like, yeah. Anyway, since we're getting into another space from art to museums, I'm gonna end the episode there, or at least something completely different as I'm reading. I wish you the best. See you soon, and so bye bye.